estimating, starting off with rounding, and make sure you listen, please, Alex. Make sure you listen, please, because people get these mixed up, and they get the wrong answer because they estimate when they're supposed to be rounding, and they round when they're supposed to be estimating or whatever here. We round, okay, just to make things easier to do when close is good enough. When close is good enough. You know, for example, you know, somebody buys a new car and you ask them how much they pay for it. Generally speaking, they're not going to tell you they paid $35,372.26. They'll just round it and say, I paid $35,000 for it because, you know, at what point do you really care about that? Same thing about a house or whatever, you know, we round things as close as good enough. Now, you must keep in mind, first of all, you have to think about what are you rounding to? So for instance, let's say I have the number 5,729. I've got that number. I can round that number to any one of a number of different things here. I could round it to the nearest tens. So round to the tens. I could round to the hundreds. I could round to the thousands. And I could also, if I really got daring, round to the 10,000s place. Okay, let's look at that number and see what happens when we round it. I probably could have rounded, I can't really round it to the ones, I guess. Okay, and when you think about rounding, it's probably easiest if you just think about counting by those numbers. Counting by. If I was counting by tens, if I had a number line and I was counting by tens, it would take me a very long time to get to this number, but eventually I would get to 5,710, 5,720, 5,730. That would be counting by tens. It would take me a long time to get there if I started at 10, but I'm going to skip way ahead to the 5,000s. I want to know to the nearest tens, which of these tens is 5,729 closest to. Now if you think about it, 5,720, 5,729 is going to be right about here. So which number is it closest to, Alex?
5,730.
Right, 5,730. Now you don't want to have to draw the number line every time. So what is your back in 5th grade we called it, what is your way of doing something? What do you call that? What is your algorithm? What is your algorithm for doing this? Rounding to the nearest tenth. What's the most important number in this one? Which one is, what number is going to tell you that you need to either do something or not do something? Andrew?
In this case, it'd be the 9.
It would be the 9, because you know it's either going to be, if you round up, it's going to be 30, and if you round down, it's going to be 20. This is the number here that tells you if it's 5 or bigger, that means this number has to be closer, because 5 would put you right here. Any number bigger than 5 is going to fall on that side, so it's going to be closer to the 30s. Okay. If we were doing this one counting to the nearest hundreds, again, we'll skip all the beginning things, but you would get this to either be between 5,700 or 5,800. Now, if I'm doing that, which one's it going to be? Will this be closer to 5,700 or 5,800? Kaylin?
5,700.
5,700. What tells me in this case? The 2. This 9 doesn't matter because the 2 is the tens place. This would be right in the middle of those two is 5,750. So since 20 is smaller than the 50, we're going to make it this number there. Rounded to the nearest thousands. My two choices are going to be, if you're counting by 5,000s, it's either going to be 5,000 or 6,000, because that's when I'm counting by thousands, that's as small as I get. And if I'm rounding to the nearest thousand, it's going to be, Madison, 6,000. Why not 5,000?
Because the 7 is after the
Yeah, because 700 is going to be a lot closer to this next 1,000 than it is back then. And then here's one we don't always think about. What about to the nearest 10,000? First of all, rounding this to the nearest 10,000, if I asked you to count by 10,000s, where would it fall? Well, you'd have to start, in this case, you'd have to start with 0 if you're counting by 10,000, and then the next 10,000 is 10,000. So your two choices is rounding to the nearest 10,000, is that going to be 0, or will it round to 10,000? And you could put maybe a 0 in there. And say, will that stay at 0, would that go up to 1? Alex, it would actually be
10,000?
10,000, yeah. Because this 5 says it's actually closer to 10,000 than it is to 0. How is that for fun and exciting? Okay, now, let me switch gears.